guys, welcome to another video in which I'll be playing some more War Thunder. And in this video we're taking a look at a replay. A few days ago I was flying the Swordfish Mk I with a friend of mine, as he requested me to do a video about the vehicle. So, as I really think the Swordfish is a very funny airplane, I decided to just go ahead and fucking play the plane for a bit. Now, initially I was practicing for the main video. I always make sure I know how the vehicles work prior to me making a video about it. Usually I practice a vehicle for approximately 1 day prior to making the video, just so I get to know the vehicle and so I can pump out some interesting content to you guys. And obviously I don't record everything I do, but this battle came out to be very funny in the end. So I saved the replay and I re-recorded the replay so you guys can see it. I'm not entirely sure which map this is, but we are playing against the Japanese forces right now, and this is actually a very fun map to play the Swordfish on. I'm taking a torpedo with me and I'm moving toward heavy cruisers which are directly in front of me. First you can see two groups of landing craft trying to move into our troops, and behind those landing craft are the heavy cruisers along with an aircraft carrier. Now, in the beginning of this match my plan was to just take out one of the heavy cruisers, go back and rearm. But stuff didn't quite go as I had expected it to go. So yeah, it turned out to be a really fun match, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So in the beginning I just moved up toward the heavy cruisers. Not a lot of stuff happened. I got to the heavy cruisers and I dropped my torpedo, exploded him, got out, and then the fun stuff started happening. But it will be a few minutes before we arrive at the fun stuff, so first I'm gonna talk about the Swordfish a little bit. So, the Fairey Swordfish, which is a British aircraft, was introduced in 1936 to the Royal Air Force, I believe. I think it was 1936. It was somewhere around that. It was a World War I design airplane, pretty much. It's, as you can see, it's still a biplane, which was quite uncommon to still be developed in the 1930s. But the Royal Air Force decided to take the Swordfish into service anyway. And it actually had quite a lot of success. Just one story that really appealed to me, and it also made me more excited to play this airplane, was the story about a German battleship named the Bismarck. The Bismarck was a German either destroyer or battleship, not entirely sure. It was a German ship that pretty much was feared by the whole world. It was fierce, it was extremely powerful, it had great cannons, it was state-of-the-art design by the Nazi forces, and the British wanted to take the ship out. It was causing more and more havoc among the seas and they needed to get rid of the ship. So what did they do? Well, the British sent out an aircraft carrier to go and hunt down the Bismarck, pretty much. Because a few weeks earlier the Bismarck had an engagement. Oh gosh, my English is fucking up again. A few weeks earlier the Bismarck had an engagement with another ship of the Royal Navy. And basically they managed to quite accurately pinpoint the location of the Bismarck at that point. So the British dispatched a few of their own ships towards to intercept the Bismarck, including one aircraft carrier. The aircraft carrier was carrying Swordfish airplanes, which were obviously outdated, and the Swordfish airplanes had to take on something that was state-of-the-art technology by the Germans. Like, I still don't know what the fuck the British were thinking, but they did it anyway. So they dispatched the Swordfish, and the Swordfish went to the Bismarck, and when the anti-air of the Bismarck opened up, they had a lot of trouble engaging the Swordfish. because something rather interesting was happening right there. The anti-aircraft armament of the Bismarck was not meant to fire at such slow and outdated aircraft, so they were having a hard time trying to hit the Swordfish. The Bismarck anti-air systems were developed to take out faster aircraft than the Swordfish, and the Swordfish can fly really slow if it wants to. So it was quite funny. The Swordfish got in, dropped their torpedoes, and one torpedo actually hit the Bismarck and disabled its control systems, and not a single Swordfish was shot down. Like, the Bismarck was just too advanced to effectively fight against Swordfishes. Isn't that crazy? Something that's too good that it doesn't function anymore. And that's what made me really excited for flying the Swordfish. That whole story about the Bismarck, which later also got bombed to shit by more British forces, because the Swordfish only disabled its control systems. And it didn't sink yet. No, it didn't sink yet. So they still had to bomb it, and then the Bismarck would go down, blah blah blah. But in the end, it was the Swordfish that made sure that the fucking thing sunk. Well, so crazy. But yeah, that's why I decided to basically go and fly the Swordfish as well, next to the user request, or the subscriber request. So here we are right now. I destroyed an Heavy cruiser and I am being engaged by a Ki-43 Japanese fighter airplane right now. Now the Swordfish has only got one 7.7mm machine gun, I believe. I think it's 7.7mm. And obviously one machine gun isn't quite capable of packing that much of a punch. So all I could do at this point was trying to outmaneuver the Ki-43. I knew for a fact that I was slower. I knew for a fact that I didn't have adequate armament to take him out. But I did know for a fact that my turning circle was a lot smaller. So he wouldn't really be able to effectively outturn me. He would pretty much lose me all the time. And that was the best chance for me at that point. Just trying to keep maneuvering around and trying to avoid getting shot down until help arrived. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are noticing it, but the only teammates that are remaining are two PBI Catalinas and one other Swordfish next to me. So unfortunately help wasn't really going to come, and things looked really grim at this point of the battle. So I had to take justice in my own hands. I had to take out the Ki-43. And in the end I managed to damage him so much that he crashed into the water pretty much. My gunner managed to fuck him up. So at this point of the battle I was like, well, okay, we killed a fighter, nothing special, and a Swordfish basically. I mean, I've seen it several times that a Swordfish shoots down enemies. But that wasn't quite the end yet. This is where the match gets really interesting and fun to watch. So my friend Raphael was being engaged as well, and I was trying to go and help him out, but I then was engaged by a Ki-10 and another Japanese aircraft as well. I think a Ki-21, not entirely sure, or a Ki-27. I think it was a Ki-27. So yet again I had to try to defend myself from the enemy threat. And at this point I was quite certain that I was going to die. Here you can see the Ki-10 being on my tail, and I immediately firing my gunners at him, managing to damage his oil system of his engine. So at this point I did substantial damage to him, and it wouldn't take much longer on this map, because this is a rather hot map. So it wouldn't take much longer before his oil would start overheating. So the Ki-10 is basically trying to escape from Swordfish right now, which is quite hilarious frankly. But I still had the Ki-27 on my ass as well, who was still trying to take me down. So yeah, we managed to defend ourselves from Ki-43, and we managed to scare off a Ki-10, but we still have a Ki-27 trying to engage us. So at this point I opened up my gunners at him, and oh boy, I shot his fucking wing off, making up a total of 2 air kills right now, and that's just bloody insane. So in this match We effectively took down more enemy aircraft than the fighters on our team managed to do, and we shot down a heavy cruiser as well. But the Ki-10 is still trying to run away from the battlefield, and I did really want to get the kill. So instead of going back to base and to rearm, I decided to go ahead and chase him down. I knew where his airfield was, and I knew that he would be landing, and he was only 4 kilometers away. So if I would be fast enough, I might be able to shoot him down while he was still on the runway. So that was my plan from this point on. Fly to their airbase, risk getting shot down by their anti-aircraft armaments once again, because airfields are quite heavily defended in War Thunder. So I'd risk getting shot down by anti-air just to get a kill, just to get some revenge basically for him trying to shoot me down. But I decided to go and do it anyway. Most of my team is still dead and the enemies have only got 2 planes remaining, so it's a 3 versus 2 right now. 1 enemy biplane fighter and 1 enemy ground attack unit versus, at this point, even 2 of our aircraft, because 1 of our swordfishes just got shot down. And we were also losing on tickets, which basically made the chance very small to win this match. But I didn't give up, I kept on pushing, and it's quite uncommon to make such radical decisions in a swordfish, to use it as a fighter basically. But whatever, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just looking for some fun and for some excitement, so I guess that is what drove me to make the decision to use it as a fighter anyway. But yeah, I arrived at the enemy airfield and I've spotted the Ki-10, so I'm lining up for him. He did not get repaired yet, so I did arrive in time. He's right there on the runway, his engine is overheated as fuck and he's just being there, not being able to maneuver. We shot his wings straight off, effectively disabling him from returning to the battlefield. Now, I'm not entirely sure why the anti-air armament didn't open up on me. Oh, there you go, now it did. But we did manage to score our 3rd air kill on this battle with a swordfish. And I don't think I've seen any videos before that basically show 3 air kills in 1 battle with a swordfish, because that's fucking hilarious. But yeah, obviously I had to get my ass out of the airfield before getting shot down, and I had to go ahead and try to take out the enemy remaining D3A1, which you can see 4 kilometers away right now. Now there is a slight problem. We are still losing on tickets, and as most of our team got taken out already, the enemy landing craft managed to get really close to their objective, so it was really just a race against the clock from this point on. I could try to catch up with the D3A1 and try to shoot him down, and that way effectively to win the battle by draining their tickets. Or I could try to bomb the landing craft. Now the last option didn't seem very rational to me, because I knew for a fact there was like, I don't know, 15 landing craft remaining, and a swordfish can only take 4 bombs, which is by far not enough to take out all the landing craft. So I tried to go for the first option, to take out the D3A1. Now as you can see right here, I'm turning slightly away from him because I want him to get on my tail. As soon as he's on my tail, I can basically maneuver away from him and then hopefully get an aim on him. So he's still closing in, and my plan was working up till this point still, and I decided to go ahead and proceed with the plan without realizing how much time I had left before the landing craft would reach their objective. So things got quite intense at this part. It was basically a make or break point in the match. We would either effectively win the match by shooting down all of their aircraft, or we would lose it by the landing craft finishing their objective. And the D3A1 is getting closer and closer and closer. Now I'm not sure what the replay system was doing here, because I'm recording this in the player's view, so everything you're seeing right now is how I looked at the battle. But yeah, I'm trying to shoot my gunners at him, but from 900 meters distance those tier 1 guns really won't deal a lot of damage. I was hoping to rip his wing off like I did to the Ki-27, but it didn't quite work out. And the D3A1 didn't quite want to engage either up till this point. Right now he's trying to dive on me, with me effectively trying to outmaneuver him once again. This is exactly my plan. Trying to get him to dive on me so I can outturn him, basically making him lose all of his energy. But this guy did something very clever. He made the right choice of not dogfighting me, as instead he made the choice to pretty much go ahead and boom and zoom on me. Now I still didn't notice that we were draining tickets already. I'm not entirely sure why that was happening. I suppose we lost all of our ground units, and unfortunately we lost the battle just as I was to be shooting down the D3A1. It was such an insanely close match and it was so exciting, but unfortunately we lost. So yeah, I effectively took out 3 enemy aircraft and a heavy cruiser. This was one of the most fun matches I've had in a long time. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, subscribe, comment, sharing. What up guys? Once again, thank you for watching and see you next time.